Welcome to Sister Talk Real Talk, a show where real women discuss real issues. My name is Monique, and I have the honor and the pleasure of being your host every week. On this show, I provide women with information, insights, and perspectives that I hope will enlighten, challenge, and encourage you to live your best life and to walk in your purpose. Stay tuned. It's going to be a great show. Hello, and my name is Monique, and thank you for joining me again for this episode of Sister Talk Real Talk. Well, I try to make sure that I give a lot of different options and insights on different things, and in light of some things that are currently going on in the time of the year, I thought this would be an interesting, hopefully fun, but definitely at least something that will get your guys' attention, conversation to talk about. So I'm a sports fan. Maybe I'm more of a team fan. I love the Seahawks. I have a couple of basketball teams that I like. But I know that there's a contention that happens sometimes with women and their men, and maybe sometimes even with men and their women. Maybe there's some women that are really into sports, because I know they are too as well. But there's a challenge that sometimes comes up when sports season, particularly when football season. I mean, it's sports season all year round, right? There's always some sport that's going on. But when it comes to football season, and then now we're in a time where the baseball season's getting ready to go into playoffs. Football season, they're now in a training camp, and they're getting ready to have their first preseason games coming up in about 3 weeks. I know that it sounds kind of funny, but I know that this could be a little bit of a bone of contention sometimes. They added Thursday night football. So you have Thursday night football. You have football on Sunday. Then there's Monday night football. Then there are all of these things that go on. And I have girlfriends, and I've heard in larger circles where sometimes there are conversations about what happens with their men during the season. It's kind of like they say that some women say that they're a football widow, between the times of, basically the end of August until Super Bowl, which is the first week in February. I've heard that. And then basketball playoffs start happening kind of right around that time, and it overlaps, and that goes into June. And anyway, sports. I love football. I love watching it. All of those things. But my guest is here with me today. We're going to talk a little bit about what it means from a woman's perspective, from a man's perspective. And by no means, I'm not trying to be stereotypical. I just know that the propensity of people that seem to have a challenge with the dynamics of their relationships during particularly football season are typically women who are saying, hey, I feel like I've lost my man. I feel like I've lost my husband. I feel like I've lost, my boyfriend, that I'm no longer a priority is really more of the sense, which is something that's really serious. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome back my guest, JC, and thank him for joining me again. He has proven to give a very interesting male perspective. If nothing else, it definitely does stir up conversation. I can tell you that, and controversy. So JC, you're getting quite the reputation as definitely having your unique sometimes, and opinions that cause people to have conversations. So anyway, I want to say welcome back to the show, JC.
Oh, thank you for having me back.
You're very welcome. Thank you for coming back and joining us. The listeners have definitely commented about you and your comments. And, we've talked about some pretty serious relationship things and perspectives from a man, or, you giving perspectives from the male, just as being a man, in which not only what you express, maybe we should give a disclaimer, what you express are not necessarily all of your own opinions, but they're also your insights and understanding of just what it's like to be a man and the things that you've heard and learned over the years, correct?
Correct. Yeah, I'm just America's favorite homeboy, as you can say, or it's basically Mr. Diversity.
Okay, Mr. Diversity. You know what, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a fun show. Actually, this is a show grab your girlfriend, grab your husband, husbands grab your grabs your wives, wives grab your husbands, grab your girlfriends, your boyfriends. This is one where you want to sit down and listen to this together and have a conversation with your significant other, because everybody goes through some variation of this, unless he's not a kind of a sports fan at all. Maybe she is and he's not. So I don't want it to be, like I said, kind of a stereotypical, it's the man that loves sports and the woman that doesn't. We all do, but again, the conversation is more going towards the common thread. So without further ado, um, the name of this show, I'm calling it Sports Season, Roll With It or Call Foul, right? So the
Okay.
question is, I'm going to say as a woman, do you roll with it or do you call foul? And by roll with it, what I mean is let's go with extremes, because we tend to like to do that a little bit here, and then we'll bring it back to the middle. Let's say the extreme, it's baseball season's getting ready to go into playoffs. Let's say that my man, my husband, is a baseball fan. In addition to that, he is also a football fan. Now, I mean, I've known people. I've been in relationships with people where we've literally had a discussion about, do we break up over football season, because they happen to be a Pittsburgh Steeler fan. And for all the Pittsburgh Steeler listeners, I'm sorry y'all stole that game. But anyway, that playoff game. So
How many years ago was that?
it's
It's a
still
sore subject. Too
there's
soon? Too
it's
soon?
too soon. It's too soon. He, there was someone that
Well, wait. First, let's get this cleared up that you're a Seahawk fan and you're still a little sore about that game that happened a couple years ago.
most people get really upset about things that are stolen from them. Thieves just should not. I think they should be punished to the fullest extent of the law.
So why not blame those who stole it? It wasn't the Steelers that stole it. It was the refs.
It was the reps. And they should be hogtied and hung out in public square for torture. That was wrong. It was just so wrong. It was wrong. Okay, I need a moment.
Basically, so the show is called, sports, basically. So a house divided for the sports fan in the house and the non-sports fan in the house. Which
Are you
mean,
trying to take me off of the Seahawks Steelers
which
conversation?
means that there's going to be a football widow if you're not a football fan.
Right.
And even if there is football fans, a house divided, two different teams, that are favorites within the house. So
I was dating someone, and like I said, I was at a point where, football season was about 3 to 4 weeks out. And we started having these conversations about not being able to bring opposite team paraphernalia into each other's
wow.
homes. Like
Is
it
it
was
that
that
serious?
serious. It was that serious.
Okay.
It was that serious. I'm like, don't bring any of that Steeler stuff into my house. And he was like, I'm gonna bring some Steeler stuff. And I'm like, okay, well then, don't be surprised if I go into your bathroom and the next time you go in that it's been redecorated with Seahawks stuff. I mean, it was like that. I mean, it was, yeah, that didn't last very
Wow,
long.
that's-
Yeah, it didn't last long. So,
Wow.
yeah, it's serious. So
You're
may
a
be,
unique person because most women, I understand there's a lot of female Seahawk fans out here in the state of Washington, but like, really?
yes, that's serious. It was that serious. So I may be kind of one of the women that's kind of on the other side. If I were with a guy that weren't that interested, in sports and football and Seahawks and things like that. So anyway, it's very true. A house divided, whether it's because one person in a relationship actually is really into, let's just do football season because that's what's coming, and that really does tend to, with the football widow commentary is there for a reason. Let's talk about where someone does love football in the house in the couple and the other one really doesn't, really isn't into it, or they have opposite teams. And that happens a lot. We have a lot of people, especially now with social media and online dating and all of this stuff, where you have people that have come from, different states that are now, husband and wife, that are now boyfriend and girlfriend. And so you can have a house divided. Now, you can have, a friendly kind of rivalry that goes on. depending on the couple and the personalities of the people, um, it's for me. I will not have particularly other teams. Maybe you could wear other teams' jerseys, but the Steelers, it can't cross my threshold. I'm sorry, my Steeler listeners. I have much love for you as people, but the team can't happen. Anyway, so if you guys could see the look on JC's face here in the studio right now, you would be, yeah, he's just kind of shaking his head. JC, I need to get off of that right now.
Why, yeah, I mean, they've let that go. Well,
No,
to be
no, no,
honest,
no, we
they really
haven't.
haven't because
No, we
I have
haven't.
not seen
No.
the Pittsburgh Steelers like a listing for them playing the Seahawks in Seattle since.
Nah, it's not. No,
Since it's like,
no, no.
wow.
So okay, I'm gonna let it go for a moment. My Seahawks people out there, okay, you understand, you feel me. Anyway, okay, so what to do? Let's talk about the extreme. I'm gonna
Well,
go with the male, but let's say there's a husband or a boyfriend that he is into football. There's like I said. Some women are going, what? There's Thursday night, there's Monday night. So you got football on Sundays, right? I know people at my church, we have an early service. We have a Saturday night service at my church because, well, we like to offer that all year round, but particularly what happens during when football season happens, especially when there's an early morning game, like a 10 a.m. game, Saturday night service is packed out because everybody's watching football.
well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news for those of you who are not fans of football because you have Thursday night football
Right. Well,
for
I
the
said that.
pros.
Right.
You have Friday night football for high school, Saturday football for
For
college,
college.
Sunday and Monday football for pros.
So, let's say there's a man that is not just pro football, but he's hardcore. Now there are multiple games that come on,
Yes, that's why they have the Sunday ticket.
particularly on Sunday,
They created picture-in-picture TV so you can watch more than one
more
game.
than one game at a time.
Or you
I,
go to the bars like Buffalo Wild Wings or
and they have all these
sports
different
bars.
games on the
Yeah,
screens.
Hooters.
You had to say that one, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because they serve up wings and other stuff.
Well, I know some families that go to Hooters.
Wait, they allow kids in there?
Yeah, they do. They do.
Okay,
I've
that's
actually went to
another
watch a
show.
pay-per-view fight at a Hooters and saw a family in there with kids and everything.
Okay, that's another show.
No, and that's true. It is. It's so toned down now. It's like, really?
Really? Okay. We'll leave that. We'll say that's another show, right? Like we'll leave that. Should
Well,
you take your kids to Hooters? Okay, but it's a family event. Dad's like, really? It's a family thing.
it's a family restaurant now. Like, you can take your kids to Hooters.
I don't go. But anyway, that's a whole nother. That's another show. Just like the Steelers and the Seahawks thing. It's another show. So, what does a woman do? Okay, so if it's the extreme where he's in front of the TV, he's at the sports bars, you got Thursday, you got Friday, you got Saturday, you have Sunday, and you have Monday. At that extreme, he's into all of that. So is she just supposed to kind of, if she's upset about it, what she gets Tuesdays and Wednesdays, like it's like the weekends. It's like she's got visitation rights of her husband or her boyfriend at that point. Wait, what? Okay, let me stop. How do men see it? And let me tell you then how women see it. How do men see? I mean, I've heard men start talking about this back in May. Man, football season's coming. So, how do men see it when their women come to them and their women are upset about the amount of time that they're spending watching football instead of spending time with them?
See, now, there's so many different ways to go with this. Like, okay, first off, if you don't have a strong relationship to begin with before football season, you know, that's one avenue.
Right?
Another one, it's like the major influences that TV has on people these days. You see the commercials about the NFL season, pro football, for those who don't know, NFL, National Football League. you see the guy laying in bed, and you see himself wearing a football jersey come to the bed and say, "Hey, you got that honey-do list. If you don't do it now on Saturday, you'll be doing it on Sunday, and you're gonna miss our game." And you see the guy gets up out of bed running on Saturday morning, going, "No!" running to do the honey-do list. You know. So women can reclaim a little bit of their spouses back, with the honey-do list on Saturday, so that he don't miss the game on Sunday, which is also like a weekend. You want to kick back, and that's when wing season come back in, because wings go with football. So men see football season, it's like a form of release. You get your past aggressiveness out on the field. Your team dominates. Football's a kind of a violent sport. And so plus there's a lot of bragging rights that go with it, because at the job, you got fantasy football leagues and all that. Football's like a whole new culture now. So of course you don't want to be that one guy who missed the game. So you missed a key play.
That's what DVRs are for. That's what recording.
You can record it, but when will you have the time to watch it?
Well, if you got time to watch it all day, Saturday, Sunday,
if
Monday.
your wife is wanting your attention every time a game is on, just because she feels second nature to a football game.
Wait. But it's not. This is what we talked about. It's not a game. It's not a game. It may be a game at that moment, but that a game is the fifth game that weekend thus far. That's where it seems to be challenging.
Sunday, your day off from work, you're done with church, you've done all your chores Saturday, just so Sunday you can sit down in front of the TV and let the game wash over you.
Okay.
Now, you've spent time with the wife all day Saturday. You've done the shopping.
No, because it's college. There's college.
Some guys was like, okay, women can give men ultimatums. The extreme guy, wife gives guys ultimatums.
Roll back. Say that again.
So the wife could give the guy ultimatum.
Rewind.
You can say, look, you can, if she's not a fan, you can give him. You say, okay, the extreme guy, he's gonna do what he has to do and sneak it in on his phone. But if he has an ultimatum, if he liked the pros, he said, okay, I'll give up my Saturday.
He's giving up his Saturday.
Giving up his Saturday football time to do what needs to be done and show the woman attention. So Sunday, it's all him. You feed and water him with a beer and some wings, and there you go.
So that's when it should be girl time. At that point, she could be like, baby, give me your credit card because I'm going to go out.
Yeah, she could Jane Jetson him, yeah.
give him $5 and she takes the wallet.
Yeah,
Okay.
Because most guys is like, hey, I want to watch the game.
Do anything. So okay. So, not to make this too controversial, but ladies, he just gave us a really big nugget that if it is a challenge, we could use this to our advantage. Because what I'm hearing from you, what you didn't say, but I think what you're saying is, at that point, y'all will do whatever you can do to get rid of us.
We just want to watch the game. You just want to watch the game. Because that's our alone time. And because of football Sundays and because of the demand of women wanting attention during football season, this is the idea that brought out the man cave.
So he could go be alone by himself and have his time.
And have a couple buddies over.
We don't get a woman cave or a woman.
Yes, you do.
What's that?
It's called the rest of the house.
It is not. You know what's in the rest of the house?
Everything,
you know what's in the rest of the house? Y'all. You guys are in the rest of the house.
Everything is all yours.
No,
a man
not.
cave, he can decorate in that one. He has one.
Do you know what
space.
happens to the rest of the house? Do you know what's in the rest of the house? Children, husbands, dirty stuff.
And
stuff
that's why children
dirty
have their own
dishes,
room.
Dirty
children
clothes.
have a children cave. It's called their own room.
That's what's in the rest of the stuff. We should get a. I remember there was an episode of The Cosby Show where Felicia Rashad, Claire Huxtable, he ended up building her own little woman cave thing that she could do. I think that we should have our own, but anyway, that's another story. So
hey, you know what? Trust me,
most
men believe that for women to go ahead and have their own space, but men see it as, look, I got a man cave. so I can go there and watch the game, decorate the way I want to. It's like a little kid's room for grown up men.
Right. Okay. So we're for that. But so women, you know, I know that there have been I've had there've been a couple of women that I've known that like it's a real issue. Now I know some women that just get on board and they're full all in with their husbands. Like they never liked or their boyfriends. They never liked football before, but they are all in. They are sitting there with them. They're cheering. They're doing this. Do you guys like that?
Well, if you can't beat them, join them attitude. Yeah.
Do you like it?
You know what? There's nothing sexier than a woman that enjoys what you enjoy, and not because she's trying to appease you, but she's actually into it. You know, it's like,
But what if she starts off doing it to appease you? Because she's like, I can't win any other time. You know, with everybody's schedules and the way that businesses are now, people are busy. That this may be the only day they have together, right? And she knows like this is his thing. So what if she is doing it to appease him? Does he really care? As long as she's not complaining about it.
exactly, yeah. Because most men, we're more basic than women really give us credit for. We're really basic. We're simple. Like sports, we're more like Cro-Magnon caveman type. We want steak, we want chicken, we want something cold.
You want
to drink.
wings, you want a beer.
We want a beer, we want to put our feet up, fart,
Scratch.
pick our noses and watch the game,
and have nobody fussing about you.
Right, just want to sit and watch the game or have a couple buddies over with a couple beers and yell at the TV screen when our favorite quarterback gets sacked.
Okay, so can we make a deal? Now, games go on Sunday all day long. Till about what? About 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock?
Yes.
About 8 or 9. Can we make a deal? Like, now, can we? I know some men don't just watch their team. They watch, like, every football game they could possibly watch.
Because of the fantasy football league.
Okay, but let's say he's not in fantasy football.
Fantasy football just made it worse.
Yeah, it did. It did. Oh, yeah, because now you've got to watch.
You got to watch the other players.
Right. Because you have to see who you're going to trade and who you're going to pick for your team. And yeah, I don't know anything about fantasy football.
Because that football pools, I know people that make a living off the football pools.
Okay. So the suggestion to ladies is you have several options. You can continue if you've been, upset and frustrated, you can continue complaining. It doesn't really do any good. It frustrates him, but it sounds like it's not even going in one ear and out the other. He's got like earplugs in, kind of like those, like it's just, he wants his football. You can join him. I would be hard pressed to join someone all day. That would be a bit much for me all day. I'm going to watch the Seahawks. I'm going to watch their team if their team is some other team other than the Seahawks, as long as it's not the Steelers. I will watch their team. I will root for their team with them. I happen to be someone who actually knows football. So I'm sitting there yelling at the TV before they can sometimes going, wait, he was offsides. Where's the flag? And all this other stuff. Oh, you're going to challenge that? Oh, he was, things like that. So I can do that, like I said, as long as it's not the Steelers. You can join it. You can choose to make that day or that time you spend with your girlfriends, go do stuff, go get your nails done, go to the spa, be like, baby, I know you want to watch, your games all by yourself. I know you like to have this time, but I'd really like to go and do such and such. Can I get your car? Can I get some money to go? But before we even get out of the mouth, you're like, you had to miss the wallet because it's just like, go away.
Some guys are like, they'll do anything just so they can watch the game without any nagging, any lip service,
What about the guy that doesn't?
What do you mean?
That won't, hey, baby, go do something. Here's this. I'm not saying, ladies, let's get this straight. I know you have your own money. I know you have your own stuff. But I'm also saying that this is an opportunity for us to be able to say, hey, you want your game. I want my hair done. You want your game. I need to go get a mani-pedi. You want your game.
On
I
a
want
Sunday?
my massage. Yeah, you get a mani-pedi on a Sunday.
That's taking advantage of somebody because their attention span is not that broad doing something that they really.
Hey, we both get what we want.
Oh no! So basically, there's a Lifetime movie marathon or a Scandal TV show going on that
y'all watch that stuff with us anyway.
Nah, most men will.
Yes, they do.
Most men don't really care about that. Them female type shows, guys
know,
be
but
like,
you do. Look at the Nielsen ratings.
I'm just saying when they got those female based shows,
Mm-hmm.
guys be like, we watch it with you because we want to appease you.
It's once a week.
We still watch it
It's
with you.
once a week.
You guys, your Lifetime network is on
I
forever.
don't watch.
So
When was the last time I watched something on Lifetime? Typically, if a woman is watching Lifetime, she's not gonna ask you to watch it with her. You want to know why? Because if she's watching Lifetime, you probably in trouble. If she's watching Hallmark, that's the feel good romance stuff. Lifetime is like I'm a killer,
yeah,
I'm a killer
Hallmark
person kind
is
of stuff.
just as boring for guys. It's like,
But
really?
we don't need you to watch that
Oh,
stuff with
but
us.
like, okay, some women act like to watch. They want their man to watch the little sappy programs.
Every once in a while. Well, if
Like
hey,
Two Broke Girls or something like that. I'm not trying to name drop on shows, but like women-based shows that have a
who
more
watches
larger
that?
women audience.
Okay, so we digress. Oops, we digress just a little bit. So here's where we are. You're saying it could be a win-win. I guess it's kind of you got to negotiate, right? You have to understand what you want. But I think one of the biggest things, we've been kind of fun with this, but I think one of the biggest things that if it really is an issue, if a woman really is feeling neglected or feeling like she is no longer a priority, that's a conversation that needs to be had, not while the game is on, ladies.
Yeah, because
it's not going to work.
You know what the cliche is? The classic cliche
What?
is that a woman will wait till the game is on and wait till the game gets like really interesting in the second or the third quarter and come stand next to the TV totally naked and walk in front.
And that doesn't work?
Yeah, it works. Okay, so it works. It works 9 out of 10 times.
Okay.
There's that one
So
rare case.
so the husband's sitting there watching and the wife comes and stands in front.
Totally naked, or
And it
girlfriend.
works. Okay.
Or girlfriend, stands in front of TV totally naked, talk about, hey, I was thinking about going outside dressed like this. And you'd be like, what? Wait, what? That's totally unfair. Just want to let you women know
And
that.
so is watching
That is
8 hours of football
so
all day.
unfair. Because we would like to be playing football for 8 hours, but we can't.
Oh.
So we rather watch it.
So those who can't play watch.
That's not also true because there's those who can play that watch the game too.
Well, yeah, but that's a whole other thing. That's like their profession.
Oh, they watch because
They have to.
You're
That's
a
like
fan.
their job.
Not even that. You're a fan of the sport.
I understand, but you guys have this kind of
No,
like
we like
football
football.
fantasy.
It's more.
Is that why they call it fantasy league?
No, it's like for a form of it's relaxation because it's aggressive. Like how people watch gladiators back in the Roman days. That you couldn't be a gladiator. You could learn how to fight, but you're not going to be a gladiator. So you watch somebody else get chopped or hacked up, and you be like, yeah, get that rage out.
Okay. So I think the important thing is to, though, have the conversation, not when the game is on. I think it's the same way to approach it. Instead of ladies us going to men saying, you make me feel this, and when you do this, and you do this, all of those things that typically doesn't work, it puts him on the defensive. A way to be able to approach it, and you can tell me if this works, is to be able to say, hey, I really would like to spend more time with you. I know that watching football is really important to you. Can we every other Sunday, can it be something like where you watch a couple of the games or 3 of the games? Can we do something?
You guys,
that won't work?
No. You see, because football is only during a certain time of
Football
year.
it goes on for months.
It's seasonal.
It goes from August, September, October, November, December,
Football
January.
can actually,
it's half the year.
See, if women, you got to look at it in a more creative way.
Okay, so how should you have the conversation?
Football can actually
Naked?
save your relationship.
How?
Okay, if you time your activities or your attacks, as I'm gonna call them, around when there aren't games on, you will have a man's full undivided attention, and you can use football watching as a bargaining chip, like a little carrot in front of the horse, like on the commercials. They influence you. You get your honey-do list done. You can take walks in the park before the game start or Saturday. Hey, I want to spend time with you Saturday, babe. Today, it's Saturday. Let's go to the garage sales or go to this painting class or clay class or dance studio. Take these dances up on Saturday, so that way on Sunday you can have the day to watch football. And if you use that as a bargaining chip, let's do this on Saturday so Sunday you can watch football all day. Guys will jump at that.
Okay. Good advice. One last question for you as we close this out. Halftime, is it fair game?
It depends on the time of the year in the game, but
Okay, it's not playoffs. It's not
it's not the
obviously it's not the
Bayou.
Super Bowl.
You're right. The Super Bowl, the Bayou Classic, is not
Right,
the playoffs.
not
Yeah,
the playoffs. Halftime is fair game.
yeah. Halftime is fair game.
Okay, we can have a conversation, not a deep conversation.
Well, it can't because your halftime is only but so long.
Right.
It's only like 10 minutes.
Right. It's
But-
not like it used to be. Didn't halftime used to be a lot longer?
No. It was the same time. It was just that now the half times is getting so much more. Half times now is really important, believe it or not. There's a lot of information that's disclosed during halftime.
Especially about the other games too that are going on at the same time. Okay, ladies, bargaining chip, utilize it. Instead of going against the grain, figure out how to negotiate your terms in order to have it work for you. Well, what do you think? Let us know. JC, thank you for your insights and information. Thank you for, your perspective. It's much appreciated. And I'm really thankful for you being here today. So thanks for the insight. You gave us some tips, a little bit of insight from the male perspective. Hopefully that will help our listeners. Hey, listeners, let me know what you think. Let us know. You've been doing a great job of commenting and sending the information. Tweet us, comment on the Facebook page, comment on the YouTube or the iTunes video on iTunes, and let us know what's going on. Thank you for listening. And
Yeah, thanks for listening. And please give him football Sundays, please.
See that man plea. Give her the credit card. Give her the credit card.
She already
Spa
has it.
day. Spa day.
They have that.
Shopping. Nails. Okay. All right. Until next time, thank you so much for listening. This was fun. We'll have to do it again. Thanks, JC.
You're welcome.
Thank you for listening to Sister Talk Real Talk. I hope that today's show has informed, enlightened, encouraged, or challenged you. We're always on doing this thing called life with you throughout the week. You can catch us on Facebook and on Instagram at Sister Talk Real Talk, and on Twitter at Sister Talk for Real. That's Sister Talk, the number 4, real. Let's continue the conversation throughout the week. You can catch all of our shows on our blog at sistertalkrealtalk.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you next time. Until then, keep it real.